Hey guys, this is Chris from carproductstester.com, and I'm the editor and I do the car reviews. And on test is this 2015 Isuzu D-Max Fury edition. So I wanted to show you how it drove really. I mean, I've shown you the inside, I've wrote about it. On the website obviously there's various updates. This is a long-term vehicle, which means I've had it nearly 6 months now. It's going back in a couple of days. So I really to show you how it drives. So this is a country road and we're doing 60 miles an hour. There's a little bit more wind noise because of the sports bar has the laser LED lamps attached to it. Fantastic lamps, incredibly bright, and I've got some footage which obviously you can see on another video in another update. You just check on the website carproductstester.com and look for Isuzu D-Max Fury update. So this is a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder engine, inline 4 motor, 16 valve, twin turbo, plenty of torque. Power is only rated at 160 horsepower, however it's a diesel, and what counts on diesel? Torque. And this thing's got an absolute stack of it, 295 pound-feet of torque. That'll get the job done. So you can hear something I've been saying, a noisy engine up to 50-60 miles an hour. Once you get it in gear and you're cruising, not so much of a problem. Actually quite a quiet car really, considering it's a big wedge shaped pickup. It does well on road wind noise. The road noise is weirdly almost non-existent off the tyres that are fitted. It's just the wind noise really. However, I've used this for a couple of long motorway journeys and I can't really complain. It's not really that noisy at all. Just here it's quite agricultural really, the engine. But I mean, it gets up to speed quick enough. That's 60 miles an hour. Doesn't lack for torque at all. Really does pull well at a low RPM. Fantastic. Torque getting pushed out and forcing you down the road is excellent. Really a ton of torque on that 2.5 litre engine. As you can probably tell, it's a very firm ride. I wouldn't say it's unlivable with, but passengers haven't been particularly impressed with the ride when you go in sort of on city streets at lower speeds. The firmness of the suspension is very noticeable, and I've had a couple of passengers actually complaining of feeling car sick and don't normally, and I can completely understand that because at lower speeds it's like most pickups, it's just bouncing over the bumps, it's not flowing over them. I mean, it's got to be expected to a degree. When you've got weight in the back, however, I've had sort of half a ton in the back of here, in the pickup section, it really does make a lot of difference to the ride. It flows beautifully. Obviously fuel economy will be affected, but even if you put a couple of 100 kilograms in the back, it definitely improves the ride quality, and it's perhaps something I would consider doing, driving around if I wanted to, if I was taking people out for the day, put a couple of 100 kilograms in the back. Weight that back end down, get the suspension flowing, and rather than banging over the bumps, your passengers will thank you for that. 60 mile an hour in 6th gear, you've got a really long 6th gear, so we're only doing 1500 RPM, you're doing sort of 1750, 1800 RPM at 70 as well, or actually probably nearer to 2000 RPM at 70, but it's still, respectably low, and it just sits on the motorway lovely. It's not really an issue with cruising at all. It's fairly quiet, as I mentioned, and it just sits there all day chugging along. It's happy enough, and that long 6 gear does make a heck of a lot of difference. The Fury, however, I like it. I like the look of it. You get about £2,000 worth of stuff on it that you don't have to pay for if you get this car. But this is like the standard interior that you get on them. The upgraded one's much nicer. It's just one big dial in the centre here, in the centre of the console. And also there's things on here on the Fury I don't get why they haven't put it on. Stuff like cruise control. You know, you've got these leather seats which are fantastic. And you know, I just don't understand why they've not put cruise control, but there you go. They've just based the Fury on sort of a more basic model. So we've gone from a 40 to a 60, and that's with my foot fairly far down on the accelerator, and then you see it does it quickly. You see what I mean about once you get into 60 at 6, it just sits quietly and smoothly. The brakes actually on this car are really good. I had to really push hard on them the other day, and we got a bit of a squeaking from the tyres in protest at shoving down hard on it. I had to brake hard for an unexpected light change. But no complaints in that department. Handling is, you know, it's not too sloppy really, it's not too bad. The modern cars are slightly better, the Mitsubishi L200's better handling. But having said that, this is a pickup truck, and if you buy a pickup truck expecting to be driving an SUV, you know, you go and buy an SUV instead. It's pretty simple really. But the thing is, with the Isuzu, they feel really solid. It's a tough feeling vehicle. You know, everything about it, okay, you've got all these hard plastics, but so what? You know, it's a works vehicle, and it's got the storage compartment where I showed you before. On the other video, if you take a look at that, I think that's in update number 1 or 2. Use these two open, and it's got cup holders everywhere as well. Very practical vehicle. My personal choice would not be to buy a low spec double cab Isuzu, such as, I think it's the EIGER, is it? Or in fact this Fury, because for the extra you'll pay for the nicer dash and the cruise control, and if you wanted it, an automatic gearbox, it's well worth it. You know, I like the look of this pickup truck, and you know, the others are going to have the same traits, as in the bumpy ride, the noisy engine, and you know, the vibrations through the cab when you're driving, through the manual gearbox and through the steering wheel, and especially when you're stationary, you can really feel it all coming through. However, it's not that bad. It's livable with. I mean, I've had it for 6 months and I still enjoy driving this truck. It's a big beast. You sat really high up and you actually feel like you're driving a real pickup truck. The L200's a great car, great pickup truck to drive, but the trouble with it is that it does feel a little bit like you're driving a car. And I don't mean that as in the handling, that's all fine, but I mean it feels like you sat driving a car because of the driving position. The Isuzu, however, does feel like a proper beastly truck. So I hope we showed you a taste of what it's like to drive. You know, you can hear the sound of the engine, you can hear the gear changes. Gear changes, by the way, are fine on it. That you know, the clutch is nice and light. I've not a problem with that at all. I hate it when there's heavy clutches on vehicles, but this one's nice and light. And you know, it's firm ride, but it's kind of to be expected. Yes, it would be nice if it was a little bit less pliable. However, that's the nature of this beast. The front and rear seats, as you've seen on the other video, are comfortable, and you can drive all day in this and feel comfortable. These seats are massive, they're really wide, and you know, there's no lumbar support adjustment, but you don't need it. The seats are lovely. So really that's it, guys. There's nothing really else to say, aside from I would perhaps myself, personal preference, not have the lower end D-Max. I would get a higher end model simply for slightly better luxury comfort. That's just me. But thanks for watching, guys. Please check out the long term updates on carproductstested.com.